Good morning. Turn you guys up. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. Let me pull you guys in a little closer. Well, we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy Specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Hope you guys are ready to get this day started. I know my throat is not want to cooperate with me, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Did you guys have a good weekend? Me and this hair. Lynn, I see you, the little wave thing, but I don't see I don't want to click on the ad until you send me your thing. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope you were safe out there. Hope you did everything that you were supposed to do, what you needed to do. I hope you said something good about yourself on Friday. Did you break out the mirrors and say something good about yourself? I hope you did.
Okay.
Good morning.
Hello. Hello. Okay, so I apologize. I was having a couple of problems this morning getting in for some reason. Not quite sure what was going on, but so we had some events this weekend, just some small tiny events. So how was the Atlanta African American Book Festival?
It was great. Trenda came out, so that was great. It was a for it was a really great time. I had some amazing connections for me to have. It was just amazing. I have to tell you about it. The connections alone were life changing. So how about that?
Awesome.
How was your trip?
And as you know, we were in Virginia this weekend and we had an amazing time. It was good to be able to get together with people, that we talk to, we connect with on Facebook a lot. And then also, Virginia Beach, I hadn't experienced it in this way before. So that
Mhm.
was also, I have to tell you that story offline too. But yeah,
Did you eat at the restaurant? Good morning.
it's
Because
very nice. So this is the thing. We had so many options
mm-hmm.
in the area near us, and there were just too many good restaurants. So I didn't make it to all the restaurants. Everybody gave me some fabulous ideas around those restaurants. We just got to go back and go to all the restaurants. That's all I'm saying. We're
That's all
going
I'm
back to go to
saying.
all the restaurants on the list that everybody gave me. So we didn't make it to all of them, but we did make it to some of them. And we had some amazing food. But that's not what the show's about this morning. We're going to go ahead and get started, y'all, with our quote. And the quote this morning comes from Dick Vermeil. And it reads, "If you don't invest very much, then defeat doesn't hurt very much. And winning is not very exciting." Wow, stepping on some toes. Let me say this one more time. If you don't invest very much, then defeat doesn't hurt very much. And winning is not very exciting. So, what does that mean, guys? And it's not just investing your money. I'm talking about investing your time, investing in your health, investing in your livelihood, investing in you, right? Is essentially what I'm getting at there. And if you don't put any skin in the game, then obviously you're not going to get anything out of it, is what I take away from this quote this morning. So, what skin
Mm-hmm.
do you have in the game? What are those things that you're doing to help yourself level up, if you will? Right? What are those things that you're doing that are going to move you to your next? Because if you don't do anything, it's not going to hurt very much, and winning is not going to be exciting because you're not going to be winning. Simple as that, right?
Right.
Absolutely. Dick Vermeil. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started with our financial confession and conversation this morning as well. In the financial confession and conversation, let me reintroduce myself. I am Lynn Demis, America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yes, I said it, America's number one. And I want you to know today, the topic today is it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Money comes to those who know the rules. It's not your fault that you didn't know the rules. It's not your fault that no one had those conversations with you when you were a kid. It's not your fault that you were not at the table growing up. It's not your fault that because of different stipulations and circumstances, you were not included or you were not privy to the knowledge, right, in regards to money. But what I am saying to you is not your fault then. However, there are some things that you can do now. And one of the first things that I want to suggest or highly recommend to you is to, if you have not read the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, go get the book. All right. And we've mentioned this before. We've talked about it before. If you have not read the book, go get it.
And it's free. I mean, I was going to say, if you Google it, the PDF is free. If you Google it, you can just go here and read it straight from your phone. You ain't got to buy it. How about that?
And then even I'll take it one step further. You can even go over to YouTube and actually listen to it because
Yes,
somebody's
ma'am.
on there reading it to you. You don't even have to read it yourself. Just press play and sit there and listen if that's what you need to do. But make sure that you get this inspirational classic and it'll help you to start thinking differently and moving differently as far as your situation is concerned. So as you know, one of the number one thing that I want to help people to accomplish is to learn how to invest, guys, because we don't know how to make our money, keep our money, and grow our money, right? And what my mission is to help as many people as possible with an emphasis on the women to be able to do that, to be able to invest, to be able to go to your next. But it all begins with the mindset. And we know that it begins with the mindset. And one of the most powerful things, I'm going to give you just a little insight into this book. One of the most powerful things that they talk about, the title of the book is Think and Grow Rich. We must think. So it's not just about thinking in general, like we think critical thinking, right? Critical thinking allows you how to do an analysis. But in this thinking that he's referencing in the book, it's about how do you think in the right way? How do you push your mind to help you to move in the correct direction? And Jojo always talks about this, the brain science behind what your mind can do as you move forward. So I'm going to help you out a little bit this morning. You say, well, Lynn, how do I think in the right way then? If it's not critical thinking, because that's what they told us in school, we need to think critically. So it's more around how do you ask yourself those profound and empowering questions that are going to push your brain to move in a different direction. So when we look at this and we talk about the money talks, for example, typically the question that people will ask themselves is, why can't I make more money? And if you ask yourself, why can't I make more money? Then your mind immediately goes to, well, you don't know the right people. You don't have the right experiences. You don't, you're not in the right circles. You don't have the right skills. And your mind will come up with every single opportunity as to why you can't make more money. And it'll keep you stagnated in that position. But instead, the type of question that you now need to be asking yourself, and we say these are empowering questions. So I thought about this and bringing it back into, so how can I make more money, right? That's more empowering than why can't I make more money? So how can I pushes you to think in a different way. It pushes you to now come up with ideas that are going to push you to your next. And then you need to just spend some time crafting your solution. What is your answer to that question? Get you a pen and a paper and actually write down, well, how can I now accomplish this? And it's not just in talking about money, it's in accomplishing anything in your life, right? Whether it's related to your health, whether it's related to your relationships, you decide what that is, But because I'm America's #1 financial rebound coach, I'm telling you how to do this with your money, right, guys? And we talk about rebounding because we know we fall down, but there is a way to get back up again once you recognize and empower yourself with these types of questions. Dare I say, you take it another level. One of the things that I think as an entrepreneur, and I'm just going to say it this way: how is it that I can engage more people so that I can increase my sales? See, that's a different way of thinking about that question. I've now empowered myself in a different way to move to my next when it comes to talking about how to make money. So you have to empower yourself with the types of questions and things that you're thinking about. So you say, well, Lynn, how do I get started along that path? See, there are steps to this. And the first thing is figuring out what the process is for you, because we don't all learn, we don't all do things in the same way. So what is the process for you? What is the first thing that you should do? So your step number one, of course, you're probably going to say it before I can even get it out, is in your mindset, right? Is how you start to think about what you think about. And you be like, Lynn, what, girl? Now you talking in circles.
That's very important.
How do you start to think about what it is that you think about? What are those things that you're focusing on? And from the perspective of looking at investing, what I do is some of the things that I focus on and what I help other people focus on is when to decide to buy or sell a stock. See, that's a challenge area for some people. And going through the process, I have a step-by-step process. What are the first things that you should do? Where should these items be? Should they be on your watch list? What questions should you be asking? What are the events that you should be paying attention to? See, there are a variety of things that happen in this process that allow you to get to this point. And then you figure out, how do you manage your money so that you do have funds that you can now invest? See, guys, if you try to skip the process, you miss the entire event, you miss the experience. And without the experience, you have no idea what happened, right? Take case in point, a lot of people today, you'll see so many videos on Facebook. You'll see so many people are, I don't care what they're doing. They can be at their family reunion. They can be at a concert. They can be at a birthday party. So many people miss the experience because they're sitting there trying to record it and making sure they're getting the best positioning. They're paying more attention to their phone than in actuality to what's happening around them. And they miss out on the experience. And then they say, wait a minute, what happened in that time? I don't know. I got to go back and watch the video so I can see what happened. See, you're in there, you're there, but you're not really there, right? The same thing happens in the way that you think about what you think about and the things that you do in regards to your finances. So you have to figure out, guys, make sure that you are truly there so that you get the opportunity to experience what it is that you're supposed to be experiencing. See, I know I digressed a little bit on that point, but I have noticed that quite a bit out here in these social media streets. Let me just say that. So in looking at this, as you move forward, as you're progressing, you say, well, I'm just not getting the results. I'm not getting the results that I want to get inside of my investing. Or I started investing, in my 401k, but I don't really know what's going on. I started doing all of these things and things are just not changing. And we know that if you keep doing the same thing over and over, you cannot expect different results. So what I want you to give yourself permission to do first and foremost today is, number one, just relax. Woosah, take a breath so that you can now go back to the drawing board, because there are certain things that you must do first. And financial education is what's going to help you to make money no matter what the economy is doing, no matter what the markets are doing. Once you have the education behind you, then you'll be able to make those solid financial decisions. Then you'll be able to determine whether or not your expenses inside of your retirement accounts or inside of your investing portfolio or inside of the different opportunities you have, whether or not those are important to you, or whether or not you need to make a switch, or what's the ROI, what's the return on your investment, and are you still realizing that return with the things that you're invested in? See, guys, there's a certain way that you go about this, and being accountable and adjusting when you need to adjust is what's most important in this process, right? And a lot of these things that I'm sharing with you guys, they not only apply to money. As stated at the beginning, it's not your fault because you did not know the rules. But now you can learn the rules. The rules are clearly stated. They're written in plain sight for many of us. However, many of us have chosen not to either read it and apply it, or not to read it at all. So there are different things that you can do. Now, this is not the only one, but this is one of the most popular self-help, right, books out there, and that has been read by
everybody.
Right, and by the majority, and especially those who are rich, definitely apply the concepts that are taught in this book. So go back and get back to the basics, right? Get back to the basics in your concepts and moving forward. You say, so Lynn, you mentioned earlier, when you decide to buy or sell a stock, see, that's a problem I have. I don't know how to do that. Well, that's fine. I'm glad you asked, because I'll have a class starting up on August 2nd that will actually teach you how to do that. That class starts on Thursday, August 2nd. It walks you through the process of looking at how do you pick the right stocks? How do you identify what those things are? What you should be looking for in deciding when I pick the stock, should I buy it? Should I sell it? Should I hold it? What's happening in the market that's going to allow me to be able to determine whether or not this is a good buy. Am I buying this company on sale? You hear me say that all the time. Buy wonderful companies. Buy these stocks on sale. Because when you buy the stock in the company, right, you're buying ownership in that company. So figuring out what it is that you want to achieve, and I've mentioned this before, the concept that I've created is called UCLA. The U is for understand. Make sure that you understand the company in which you plan to invest in. The C is how do they compete? How does that company compete? What's the durable competitive advantage? What is going to allow that company to be around for the long haul? The L is the leadership. What is the CEO and founder, the CEO of that company doing right now? If he's a new person, if he's an intern, or if he's someone who's been around for a while, what are the changes they're making? Does he have a big audacious goal that he's using to help shift that company? And then the A is the analysis. What do you need to do? What do you need to be focusing on as far as, is this the right price and value for this company? See, there's a difference between price and value, and I hope you catch that and understand that. In the same way that the price of gasoline changes, or the price of a dozen of eggs, or the price of milk in the grocery store, in the same way that those prices fluctuate, the value is what's most important. What is the real value, right, of that item, as opposed to the price? Because we know that prices change based upon supply and demand. So there are different things that you need to do and understand to protect yourself, to be able to identify those stocks and pick the right stocks that you want inside of your portfolio, as well as being able to understand when that company is on sale. What's the event? What's the opportunity that's going to put it on sale so I can get it and put it within my portfolio? So there's some things that we can do differently, guys. As stated at the beginning, it's not your fault when it comes to those who know the rules. So now it's time to learn the rules. If you don't learn and apply the rules now, then it becomes your fault, right? Then it becomes your fault when you do not learn and apply the rules that are going to help you to get to your next. So guys, if you're interested in joining, I am inviting you to join for that course, bit.ly/investing blueprint. The investing blueprint begins on August 2nd. If you're ready to get in there, you're tired of, you say, Lynn, I don't have money to invest. I don't want to lose money. It's scary for me to lose money. Investing in the markets may be scary for you, and I get that. People have done crazy things. CEO and executive leadership in companies have done some scary things, some things that we did not think were right because they were not. And I understand that, but there are ways that you can now protect yourself and identify what's really going on out there in the market. The SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, guys, has made some of those things a requirement. There are regulations out there that that are in plain sight if you know where to go and find them. So join up, bit.ly/investing blueprint. Class starts on August 2nd, guys. August 2nd, Thursday, August 2nd at 8 p.m. All right, guys, I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yes, I said it, America's #1. I've invited you to join the Investing Blueprint class. Starts on August 2nd. And I'm going to pass it over to my co-host. Feel free to join me, to connect with me. You have any questions, you want to talk a little bit more, also go to bit.ly/talk to Lynn so that I can answer all of your questions about this upcoming class, the Investing Blueprint, so that we can help you to get to your next level up, guys. All right, Miss JoJo, over to you.
All right, guys, make sure you check out those links. And then Nan's topic is truly something I talk about all the time. I think I did a whole show on what are the thoughts you think about yourself. So it is very, very important to change your mindset when you are going through this transition. It is vital, because if you don't change your mind, your change will not come to pass. I'm telling you, you have to, it's got to be here first before it can manifest itself in other ways. So make sure you read that book. It's free, like Lynn said, on YouTube. They'll even read it to you, because I've listened to it on YouTube, and I have the book and I've read it, Think and Grow Rich. So guys, check that book out. So so today's fearless topic for today is the solution for anxiety. And here's one of the things we have to stop doing is thinking, is it always going to be like this? Like when I was in the middle of crazy, when, the lights was off, the water was off, the kids were crazy, the family's far away, I don't have any friends, I didn't have anybody I could tell this to. I'm making $12.26 an hour, and I'm trying to go to school. And I'm like, Jesus, is it really going to be like this always? And when you start thinking like that, when you start asking yourself, is it really going to be like this always? Then more than likely, your answer is going to be yes, because you're going to be able to point out everything negative in your life and why it continued and why it will continue because of your situation. And you can't ask yourself that. I ain't gonna say you can't ask yourself that question, but when you do, be mindful of how you respond to yourself. As Lynn said, you got to be careful of the thoughts you think about yourself. I say that all the time. You're the only person that is listening to you 24/7. You're talking to yourself 24/7. So what are you saying to yourself? So when you say, is it always going to be like this? Am I always going to have this problem? Most times you will come up with the answer yes, because then, and here's the thing, when I talk about your fears are hereditary, you'll say, my mama had this problem, my grandma had this problem, my auntie, my sister, my cousin got this problem. It's just a Twitty thing. It's just a Waddell thing, whatever your last name may be. Well, all the Waddell, and I am so good for this. Well, all the Waddells got asthma. Well, all the Waddells got high blood pressure. Why am I claiming that? Like, why am I insisting on carrying generational destruction? If we are building new legacies and generational legacies for our lives, and if you love your last name as much as I do, and you're building a foundation for that legacy, why are you holding on to the destruction part of it? Why are you holding on to what has broken it down instead of focusing on what is building it up? I didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but that's a good point. Because a lot of times we claim those things and those fears. Just like I shared this weekend, the fear of flying. I shared that story again, how it was my grandmother's fear of flying that passed down to my mother, which is why she didn't continue on to be a flight attendant. And now here I am at 43, was afraid of flying because of my grandmother's fear of her child flying, and my mother passed it on to me. So you got to be careful. Yes, that's so right. We are co-creators. And if our God spoke and things were created and we are made in his likeness and in his image, do we not have that same thing when we speak? Are we not creating? Where you are right now is a direct result of what you said and what you thought last week, last month, last year, and even yesterday. How you feel today is a result of what you were thinking and saying on yesterday. I promise you, if you think back yesterday and you were just complaining, more than likely you woke up with it this morning. Right. And somebody has to break that. Don't let me break out my sticky. Here's my sticky. Somebody's waiting to hear my voice. They will not move until I move. If not you, then who? I'm just saying, because if you woke up today, and this is on my refrigerator, it says good morning. You are alive today because the purpose you were put here for is not finished. So you have work to do. So you have two options. You can complain about all of it, right? Or you can do something about it. So let me get back to what my topic was. The solution for anxiety. And you're not saying it's always going to be like this. Number one, you have to acknowledge that what is causing a problem and that there is a problem. Because if you don't acknowledge that, you're going to keep repeating it. The cycle will not stop. You will be in crazy for the rest of your life. I can guarantee that. And then once you acknowledge the problem and understand the source of it, you got to address it. If you look at it and you don't address it, then then you're going to be aware of the crazy, aware of the problem, and you're still, remember the thorn, I did the show on the thorn and how you adjust your whole life around the thorn and that broke leg, and you got a house built for the broke leg and your car built for the broke leg. Instead of addressing the broke leg, you're building your life around it. So you got to address the problem. And then the third and most important one is you got to stop participating in it. It's not going to work if you don't work. And that's what I had to realize about crazy. Not only was I participating in crazy, I invited crazy in. We had a party. We had some cake and ice cream. Hey, good morning, Aunt D. Me and crazy were just having it up together. But when I stopped participating in crazy, and this would be the hardest part of it, when you stop letting the triggers, so you have to know your triggers. When you stop letting the triggers hit you, so that automatically you got to pop off at the mouth, automatically you got to say something. Because here's the thing, I'd rather be peaceful than be right. And when you get to that kind of calm and space, I don't have to comment to everything. I don't have to say everything. Whatever I think does not have to come out of my mouth. I have rewired my brain when I want to be slick at the mouth about a situation to say, number one, me being slick at the mouth, is it going to benefit me any? No.
Right.
Because being slick at the mouth, I'm going to want to keep being slick at the mouth, and I'm always going to have something to say, and I'm never going to be fulfilled in what I say. I'm not going to be able to say enough of it, right? Because I'm never going to be able to get my point across because I'm participating in crazy. And you're never going to feel better. You may say, oh, it's going to make me feel better. It's not. It's not going to make you feel better. So you have to decide, I'd rather have peace than to be right. And sometimes that, my friend, will save your life. It's going to save your life from a heart attack, high blood pressure, migraines, dizziness, anxiety, pain, stomach hurt. It's going to save your life. And you decide that you'd rather have peace of mind. Yes, ma'am. When I tell you I have a slick mouth, or I had one, and it's gotten so much better now. Now, sometimes I can't help it and I mumble it, but I don't say it out loud. Good morning, Sandra. But in some situations, now that I know my triggers, I can manage my triggers now, because if I don't work, It doesn't work. So that's number
Right.
3, stop participating in it. And number 4, which is absolutely most important, is you got to have that prayer life. So with that solution for anxiety, you got to acknowledge that there is a problem, what's causing the problem. You've got to address it, because if you don't, you will continue to live in crazy. Yes, ma'am, it is a life or death situation, and you've got to stop participating in that crazy. Yes, ma, I know it is a hard, because we are Twitties and Waddell's. I'm a Waddell to my heart and a Twitty, and them two combinations of last names is not a good mix, especially when I feel like you done hurt me, or number 2, I'm right. Y'all know I used to have a problem with always wanting to be right. I could not stop until I proved to you that I was right and you was wrong. But here's the thing, seeking that self-validation is never going to work. You're never going to feel better after you cuss them out. You're never going to feel better after you stick them out, because the self-validation that we're seeking is never going to be enough. It's never going to be enough to make the hurt feel better, to make the situation look better. It's not going to work. And you may say, I will feel better if I cuss him out. I promise you will not, because then you're going to have another cuss. Lynn, you may feel better for a half a minute. I see you over there.
Girl, sometimes you just gotta let it go, right?
Sometimes you got to let it go.
You gotta be like Frozen and just let it go, because some people just gonna do that and they gonna try you. And sometimes you do
Yes.
have to put people in their place. So
Yes.
don't be a carpet and let somebody walk on you just because.
Yes.
And don't mistake kindness for weakness is the moral of that story. But sometimes
You got to tell them.
you gotta let them know who they're dealing with. And I'm speaking from experience here too.
Yes. Me
Or
too.
else you'll be in depression. Don't be sitting over there after the fact thinking, boy, if I had told her so-and-so and so-and-so, right? If she come back over here, I'm going to let her
Don't
have
bust
it.
their head to the white meat. Sometimes you got
to let it go, because then you
I
bottle
agree.
that stuff up. It becomes anxiety and depression, but you have to, like you're talking, you have to recognize and rationalize when is the time, right?
And if it's habitual, like if I done told you one time, and then that's where the new rules to you come in. After you done check that person one time, it is a privilege to be your friend. It is a privilege to be in your life, just like it is a privilege to be in that person's life. If you have checked them and they continue to act a fool, please understand you have the right to say, okay, sister, we got to stop this right here. And then it goes no further, because it's a privilege to be your friend. So you can't just keep allowing them after you done check them, bust their head to the white meat. Then after you done that, Lynn, you got to set them new rules and let them know you can't come up in here any kind of way. And some people you got to stop at the door. They can't participate with you, and you cannot participate with them, and that's it. Because like Lynn said, they'll walk all over you, because they'll keep coming. And I'm a witness, because a lot of people think, oh, JoJo, she's so sweet, she's so kind. And then when you blow up, they were like, what in the world is wrong with you? That's why you got to address it the first time, recognize that that's some crazy, address it, and then stop it, and then carry on with your life. Because if you keep on with it, the crazy will keep on. And the last step, y'all, is that prayer life. If you don't have that prayer life for real, then that anxiety is gonna stay there. When he say cast this cares, he truly means that. And y'all know my story, the little red bucket that I put everything in when I'm praying. Because if I didn't, honey, my shoulders would be up to here. The stress would be up to here. Kimberly, thank you for joining the morning show. I'm glad we got you excited this morning. Y'all, that prayer life. And here's the thing. Once you pray, you got to do two things. You can't pick it back up, number one. And number two, you got to get up off that behind and do something about it. Because the good Lord gave you an answer to your problem. He gave you an answer. You might not like the answer, because it's not going to give you the self-validation or the solution that you want. But he gave you an answer. That was very clear. But now you got to act on that answer. So, guys, that's the solution for dealing with anxiety. And stop saying, is it always going to be like this? It's not. Let go of those things that your parents and great-grandparents passed down generational. Let that go. You're building new generational wealth, new generational information. You're building new foundations for your family. You don't have to pick that up. Build something new.
Right.
Same name, different foundation. And that is A-okay. Yes, it is a when I tell you, once I figured that out, it was a privilege to be my friend. I lost a whole lot of friends that made me cry. Like, I ain't even gonna lie, I cried because people weren't my friend no more. Here I am at 38, 39, crying like they not gonna be my friend no more. But I had to realize it was a privilege,
Yes.
honey. I allowed myself that grieving. I allowed myself one day to grieve. If I'm having whatever issue, I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna get out my system. The next day, sister, we have got to keep it moving. We got to move on because we got things to do. So,
Right.
all right, guys, thank you for joining the morning show. I want to close out with my friend's quote. It's not our job to feed into your doubts and fears. It is our job to feed into your dreams and into your future because, honey, you do enough feeding into your doubts yourself. So it is Lynn and I's job to feed into your future and into your dreams. So that is why we do the morning show. That is why we hear. That's why we share how to live past crazy in your life and your finances so you don't have to. That's right. It's a new legacy. We're building new legacies, new foundations, and it is essential because our children are watching our patterns and our habits. My parents watched their parents' patterns, and I watch my patterns from my parents, and I'm passing along to my children every day. Everything that you do every single day, your children are watching, and then they assume if it's good enough for mommy and daddy to continue to do it, we're going to continue
Let's
to
get
do
it
it.
done.
So, what
Yes.
are the patterns that you are showing your children? What is the life legacy you are leaving for your kids? And for the Twitty and Waddell name, it's important to me that we have some new foundations and new legacies going on over in this place. All right, Lynn, let me tell them this one thing and then you can, anything, well, go ahead, anything you want to say before I close us out with everything else?
Well, guys, I just want you to take that to heart. All of those steps that she gave you around anxiety, you can take those and also transfer it to your finances because I'm sure there's anxiety and depression for somebody around their finances. If you follow those exact steps that she shared with you, it'll help you to not only push past your crazy, but also figure out how to make your money, keep your money, and grow your money. And that's what's most important, guys. So if you are ready to start investing, I'm not talking about the interested, I'm talking about the committed. Don't forget the class starts Thursday, August 2nd, bit.ly/ investing blueprint. And if you need to talk to me, you say, hey, Lynn, I need a little bit more information about that course. That's okay too. Let's talk. bit.ly/talk to Lynn so that we can schedule a time to get you on the calendar because you don't have to be in that place of anxiety and depression when it comes to your life and your finances. We'll help you work that thing all the way out. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Your time, we know, is your most precious commodity, and you decided to spend that with us. So we appreciate you for doing that and joining us here for the Fearless Morning Show. I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yes, I said it, America's #1. All right, Miss JoJo.
That's true. And she said they learn what they see, not what that is so very, very, very true. I always remember our children are watching us. They are listening to us and they
Yes.
absolutely will repeat what you say. If you don't think they will repeat what you say, get around a 6-year-old. Get around my 6-year-old nephew and he can tell you word for word, honey, what you done said. And will recall it to your remembrance real quickly. About
Exactly.
this ain't what you did. This is what you said. But your children are. I can't stress enough how much those patterns you're passing down to your family. Good morning, Uncle Harris. So please be mindful of what you are saying and what you are doing. All right, guys. So make sure if your friends and family do not have Facebook, there's our YouTube channel. We are 120 shows in now. So you
Whoop,
can binge
whoop.
watch the Fearless Morning Show over on YouTube, and it is by title and topic. So if you know anybody that is ready to live past crazy or needs to live past crazy and they don't know it yet, send them on over here to the Fearless Morning Show or send them over to the YouTube channel so that they can watch and get all the information that they need. Uncle Harris, this the end of the show now. You late. Don't come. Uncle Harris gonna come in here and start something. All right, guys. Lynn, I told you guys a couple of week before last, I was doing something new every day. You know, I got over my fear of flying, I got over my fear of boating. So now I want to be a sailor in my next life. I think I want to be a sailor. So I'm going to do something different all the time. If you guys want to join me on this journey, Lynn I'm calling you today, Lynn, because we're going to schedule my trip to Six Flags to get on that roller coaster. I don't know who's going to record this because it will not be me. And then I'm going to do the zip line.
Hold up. My birthday is tomorrow. We can go tomorrow. 44. Let's go.
I gotta work tomorrow. How's she gonna say we're gonna go tomorrow? All right, Lynn, we go after work. How about that? I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm gonna get on the roller coaster with Lynn. I'm not recording it. I will scream and act like let's put some stipulation. I need a baby roller coaster. I'm not getting on no big giant. No, ma'am, because I'm pass out. I'm gonna fall out. I need baby steps with this process. And I done committed to zip lining too. Y'all, come on, help us, sister.
All right.
So if y'all want
to. Okay. All right. So we'll start out, but it will be recorded because I'm gonna have a GoPro cam. I'll make sure I have it around my head.
And my head is going to be like this, and I'll be ducked down. All right, guys. So if you want to join me on my Be Fearless journey to try something new, I'm trying something new every week. Dancing is going to be one. Singing is definitely going to be one. I'm going to go all the way outside the box. Hey, if I'm going to go, Lynn, I might as well go all the way. So there's the link so you guys can go over there and sign up and join me. And thank you so much for joining the Fearless Morning Show. We greatly appreciate you. I hope everybody has an amazing, amazing Monday. And we will see you here bright and early tomorrow morning at 7:15. Have a good one.
Signing off.
Yeah, I'm going to be under. Please understand, Lynn is going to have, I don't think she understands what her struggle about to be. Because she going to have to drag. It's going to take wild horses, number one, to get. I'm okay in line. But once you sit me in that seat and buckle me down, and I know ain't no way out. Yeah, Lynn. I love you though.
See, now you got to do what you tell other people to do. You got to tell your mind.
We're going to walk these steps. Look, we're going to walk these steps out. You
right,
going to see in real life.
Exactly.
Walking these steps out, honey. That is
what
for
you preach, JoJo.
Hey, listen, I don't know how to dance. So my dream, I've always wanted to learn how to salsa. And when that music come on, I always feel like I want to dance. And my kids is like, Mom, just stop. And Rosie, I never forget when she was like 5, she put my hands on the speakers. She said, just feel the music, Mommy. It will tell you how to move. I was like, dog, I'm that bad. So yeah, I'm gonna do some salsa lessons. I might do, and here's what tricks me up is I do Zumba classes, and I'm in the back until I learn the routine. Girl, once I learn that routine, I'm in the front row. I'm in the front row thinking I'm doing something. So I want to learn how to dance for real, for real. So if y'all want to teach me, I'll be more than happy to take some dance lessons from somebody so that I can learn to find a little rhythm. So y'all don't take my black card from me.
I think you just lost it. You gave it away.
At 43, it's a little too late, Lynn.
You gave it away.
That's over. I'm start over. All right, guys. Y'all have a good day, and we'll see you here bright and early in the morning. Have a good one.
All righty, signing off.